Crypto holders, this is the moment of truth. Bitcoin's price has now officially pushed back into the bottom side of this descending channel and is attempting to decide whether or not it is or is not going to hold support. And I believe this decision that Bitcoin's price is about to make will impact the entire crypto market for what could be weeks to come. And so in today's video, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to be doing right now and exactly what I'm watching right now, because what happens next is incredibly important. Now, before we get into it, guys, do not forget that if you are trading Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, and anything else that is big, you can trade them all over on BTCC, which I am going to link down below. This is where I do the vast majority of my trading, and if you sign up with my link down below, you're going to get up to $10,000 in bonuses and access to our giveaway, where two of you who sign up, deposit, and start trading are going to get $250 a piece. So feel free to check those links out down below, and let's get straight into it. So as we can see, yes, Bitcoin's price has now officially eaten the wick and come back down. And this is something that we talked about in yesterday's video, right? In yesterday's video, I told you all, listen, now that Bitcoin's price is pushed back up, I am still comfortable buying, right? I bought at 111.5K, but I told you I'm aware that Bitcoin might do what's called eat the wick. And eating the wick is something Bitcoin has a kind of a tendency to do, which is whenever it creates a really big wick like this, it'll oftentimes, like, you'll see its price kind of just trickle down and start, eating the wick. I mean, it's the best way to describe it, right? Which is whenever the price just kind of goes down through where the wick was and then starts trying to scoop back up to the top side. Now, the reason that this happens is it's literally just more liquidity hunting by many of these major players. What you'll see is that you'll have this really big wick and people will step in and they'll buy like crazy right here. They'll buy on spot bags and they'll buy on leverage buys. They'll do like leverage long trades, 50x, 100x, whatever. And then generally when the market recovers, all of those traders and buyers who thought that they timed this really well, they get extra confident and they'll throw more cash in on those trades. They'll buy higher onto them, right? And that's why you'll oftentimes see that little pump right after that wick is created, because those buyers are getting extremely confident. And then the market says, nope, you should have known better. We can't allow people to win. And then it reverses. And all of those people who bought in right here, if they don't have conviction in those purchases, they just get wiped. They all get liquidated. They close down those trades. It's nasty work. Honestly, it's nasty work. And we've seen this before. And again, I warned you about this yesterday. I said, look, we might eat the wick. We might come back down towards this light green box, but I'm not concerned about that, because at the end of the day, the light green box is still a massive zone of support. And so what am I doing right now that we're back in the light green box? Well, I did just add more to my position. I actually went into the Discord server earlier and I said, look, we are eating the wick right now. There is the risk of losing support and falling out of the bottom of the descending channel is definitely there, but I'm willing to take some risk here. I'm going in with another Bitcoin or another DCA on Bitcoin at $111,000. And that's what I'm doing. Now you may say, Tyler, that's a dangerous game to play. And I actually would agree. Bitcoin is showing some signs that it may crash. It is showing some signs that it may fall to $103,000. I'm not going to deny that, but that does not, I don't know if dissuade, like persuade, but dissuade. I'm gonna say it, whatever. I don't know if that's I'm not gonna let that dissuade me from sticking to my strategy, because my strategy remains the same. When we are in descending channels, I buy in the light green box, I sell in the black box over and over and over again until it breaks out. And it worked for us right here. It worked for us right here. It worked for us right here. It worked for us right here, guys. It worked for us right here. And guess what? It might not work right here, but I'm going for it anyway, because that's my strategy. I do this over and over again, because the truth is, right here, everybody thought we were losing support. Right here, people thought we might lose support. When we came back down right here, no one thought we were just gonna pump like that. And so I'm not gonna let my emotions of being a little bit concerned right now, which I am a little bit concerned, don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not gonna let my emotions of being a little bit concerned kind of convince me that I'm not gonna stick to my strategy. That's not how I work. I stick to my strategy. And the great part about it is, we've locked in so much profit from this descending channel that even if I am wrong here, even if the move that I'm hoping we make, which is this, doesn't happen, at the end of the day, the money I'm putting back in right now is profit. And it's profit that I would not have anyway had I just held. Had I not taken profit off of this move right here, for example, I wouldn't have the profit I locked in to be able to reinvest right here. So I am just taking a risk on house's money. It is what it is. Now, it's not a ginormous risk, right? I'm not doing a massive buy right now, but it's a medium-sized buy. It's not a small purchase. But again, I do just stick to my strategy, and that's what I'm doing. Now, you may say, Tyler, okay, well, what are the concerning things, right? Like, what is concerning you and making you feel like there is a risk of Bitcoin's price losing this descending channel? Well, it's a mixture of a few things. The first thing is the liquidation map. people for some reason just got extremely confident over the last like 8 hours, and they started opening some pretty big leverage long trades like right now, like 500x, 100x right on it, to where there are a lot of liquidations that will occur if we go down to like 109.7k. That's on the 7-day, about the same on the 1-day, and then on the 30-day, it's a little bit lower, around 108,000. And so that would put Bitcoin's price somewhere around, for the majority of those liquidations, like right here, right? And so knowing that those liquidations are literally just right there, it is a possibility that we see something like that happen, right? Where we come back down and we see Bitcoin try to liquidate those people. So I am a little bit concerned that that might happen. And from more of a macro perspective, I don't like the fact that we have now taken out, as of this exact moment, that low, right? I'm not a huge fan of the fact that Bitcoin's price did not create the higher low like I was hoping that it would. We've now created the lower low. Now, some people say, well, this is the indication that we are now in a downtrend, but that's not particularly true. And the reason that it's not particularly true is because Bitcoin has now reset a trend. We saw a higher high and now a lower low. And when you see a higher high created by a low, then followed by a lower low, the trend resets. And then the next couple moves will determine what sort of trend that we're in, right? And so I don't particularly think that we're in a confirmed downtrend yet, but it is a little concerning when you do knock out a major low like that, right? And so because of those couple things, I'm like, yeah, Bitcoin might pull back. I am just still under the mindset that this is a liquidation event. This is pure liquidity hunting. I still think that there's a possibility for economic policy shift later in the year. So I'm just going to stick to my strategy, even though there is the risk of a downside move. Now, many of you have asked me, Tyler, if we do lose the descending channel, where could it go? I'm not 1,000,000% sure, but I would just use my Fibonacci's in that scenario to try to guess. My main guess would be like, okay, I think a 1.272 Fibonacci extension is reasonable. That brings us down to $108.9 thousand right here on this blue line. And that also does align with a lot of the liquidity points back here, these previous points of resistance from this move, and our liquidation levels, right? Our liquidation levels here in the 30-day. So if Bitcoin's price does pull back, maybe a move to like 108.9 or something like that, 109, before maybe trying to bounce back in the channel, that would make sense. So I don't really think Bitcoin's going to immediately go too far. But I guess obviously if it loses 108.9, my second level would be 105, because that is your, of course, 1.618 Fibonacci extension level. I do have intentions. If Bitcoin's price does break to the downside and we come to these lower levels, I am going to DCA a good bit at 108.9 and a lot more at 105. And then obviously the lower we go, I would be willing to DCA back in, because listen, I took a good bit of profit off the table up here. I took a good bit of profit off the table up here. I'm happy to reinvest it back in, because like I said before, I wouldn't even have that profit had I just held. I wouldn't have those, they'll just be they would have been unrealized gains. They wouldn't even be unrealized gains anymore. They just wouldn't exist, right? So this crypto, this capital, this cash that I have available right now is just extra. And so to me, I'm like, you know what? I'm willing to risk it, because I don't think the bull run is over, and I do think there's gains ahead of us. So I would be willing to DCA if Bitcoin does go lower than this. So I guess I'm not that concerned, but it is something that I'm paying attention to, okay? So at the end of the day, this is for all the marbles, guys. I mean, this is everything you need to be watching out for. What Bitcoin does here at the bottom side of this descending channel is going to tell us everything that we need to know about what the next couple days, next couple weeks might look like. So make sure you're watching this closely. Again, I personally did reinvest some of my profits back in here, and I'm looking to see if we can get that rally back to the upside. So I'll keep you updated as this does play out. Be very careful right now. No big leverage, no 100x, no 500x. It's all bad idea right now. Let this puppy play out. Let's see if support can hold. Some people are opening up leverage long trades right now with stop losses set below $108.9 thousand. I don't think it's a terrible idea if you do have the liquidity for it. Again, just be careful, okay? So that's where we are. I'll keep you updated as it all plays out, but keep a very close eye on this. This is all that matters right now when it comes to the charts, so only really pay attention to that, at least in my opinion, okay? So I hope you guys did enjoy today's quick update. If you did, don't forget, as always, to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.